So, how do we change it? How do we stimulate an economy as huge and vast as ours? How do we stimulate an economy that is part of an even bigger global economy? Here's how you do it. You make our economy more competitive. That's how you stimulate it. That's the secret to a stimulus package. Making America as competitive an economy it can be, so that more and more people make the choice of investing in America, make the choice of putting jobs in America, feel that it's worthwhile to expand the number of jobs. In other words, people who make the decisions about their businesses and their money and their investments say, America is a good investment because America is going to grow. Money goes in the direction of growth. So we have to present a picture of growth. I recommended, laid out all throughout this campaign, numerous ways to stimulate our economy. We pulled it all together in a big package that we put out last week. It would amount to the biggest tax reform and the biggest tax reduction in American history. You go right in the face of that fear and you say, America is strong, America is confident, America is optimistic, America has been through much worse than this before. You have, I have, our parents have, our grandparents have, our great-grandparents have. I'm not saying this isn't tough. I'm not saying this isn't a big problem. I'm not saying there aren't problems in our economy and in the world economy. Sure there are. But is this the first time that's happened? Is this the first time Americans have had to face this? Is this the first time you have had to face this? Or your parents, or your grandparents? So let's face it with confidence. Let's face it with boldness. Let's go right in the teeth of it, and let's have the biggest tax reform and the biggest tax reduction in American history, so we make America so competitive, it'll be drawing money here from all over the world. That is the way. And then, right now, you couple it with reducing government spending every place that you can and every way that you can on the civilian side of our budget.
Yeah.
Let's reduce spending. Let's get spending under control. From this day forward, let's rehire only half of the civilian positions that open up. Let's rehire one for every two.
All right.
In other words, let's downsize. You know this term from business. Let's downsize. Or, in the case of some businesses, people call it right size. We need a president who understands this. We need a president who's done this before. I've done this before. I did it with New York City. And you can go look at the results to the economy of New York City. I've done it with businesses. I've done it before, I can do it again. Reduce taxes, reduce spending. Let's put caps on our agencies and say, go find me 5% reductions, 10% reductions, so we reduce that spending. Let us then take a look at our regulations. Are they too burdensome? Are they driving businesses out of this country? Are they depriving us of jobs? Yes, they are. You can see it with Sarbanes-Oxley and the number of financial transactions that now take place other places outside of New York and Los Angeles and other places, financial capitals in America, Miami, places all over. We're seeing a lot of that business going to Europe and going to Asia because we're over-regulating, and in so many other areas we're over-regulating. Doesn't mean we shouldn't have regulations. This is all about competition. You can have regulations. You can have taxation. You can have government spending. But when it's out of line, then you lose jobs. Then people make choices other places. Then investments go other places. And then there's a fourth thing that I think has to be done as part of it, and this has to be done now. I will do it the day that I'm president. If it were done now, it would help us even more. Then I could do even more on the day that I was president. We could build on it. We got to stop suing so much. We're suing. The plan that I just laid out very generally, this is a real stimulus program. Not a little patch, not a few dollars here and a few dollars there, not some giveaway programs, but fundamentals. The Fed works on monetary policy. The United States government has to work on sound fiscal policy. So here's what we would do. We would reduce the corporate tax from 35 to 25%. We would reduce individual income tax rates. We would give the death tax the death penalty and get rid of it once and for all. Today, Congressman Dreyer and a number of others are going to introduce legislation to immediately enact the kind of tax reform and the kind of fast tax, lower tax that I'm talking about, because we think that debate has to start right now. We can't wait until the end of this election. We've got to start doing these things right now. What I learned in being mayor of New York City, the 17th largest economy of the world and the financial capital of the world, is when you have to do downsizing, the longer you wait, the more difficult it is. When you have to do tax reductions to stimulate, the longer you wait, the less money you make on it. So it's about time to make those changes now. And you understand with all these markets and global markets, how much psychology is involved in this. And America with its head down, looking fearful about what's happening to it, is an America that's not going to get a big increase in investment. An America that is bold, an America that shows that it's learned the lessons of history, an America that shows that it's learned the lessons of competitive taxes and competitive regulations and competitive spending. That's an America that everybody is going to flock to. And that's why this has to be done today. And we've got to start on this road today. And that's why Congressman Dreyer is introducing this legislation. Ultimately, if it's passed, you will be able to file your taxes on one page. Now, I am the only Republican that supports this. Of course, the Democrats. The change the Democrats want to make is, they want to take the change out of your pocket. That's the change that they want. My plan is the boldest of any of the Republicans. I'm the only Republican who has a history of tax cutting. I'm the only Republican who has done things like this in the past, turned around a government, and a large government, turned it around from the point of view of its economy and the life of the city and the quality of life of the city. I'm the only Republican who's done anything like that. And then compared to the Democrats, well, the Democrats want to go in exactly the opposite direction. They want to raise your taxes 20 or 30%. They want more regulations. And they want a larger central government to manage your health care. I want a smaller central government. I want you to manage your health care. That's why I need your help, and I need your vote in this primary coming up.
You got it.